All right, welcome back to another wrap-up show with Kenny and I right here on Independently Blind. Today we're going to be talking about our recent trip to Universal Studios Hollywood. We're going to get into all the ins and outs of what we experienced, what our thought was, and just kind of share with you, not only from just the disability perspective, but just all around our experience at Universal Studios Hollywood, starting right now.
Well, let's just kick this off, Jason, and we'll talk about the trip down. Let's start there.
Yeah, why not? Let's just go ahead and talk about, well, the travel part of it, I felt was going to be the easiest part. And there's a reason why I say that with laughter. But the travel down wasn't bad.
Travel down was great.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
The train was a little late.
Well, yeah, you know Amtrak. It runs, You can get late, you can get delays. That's just part of Amtrak in the U.S., you know. They share the line with the freight trains. So they tend to run behind sometimes. That's just a part of train life, you know. Yeah. But this riding, a lot easier than driving, especially we don't drive, but yeah. And a whole lot cheaper. Only cost us, like we said it before, I think we gave you the price. It was like $32 around. $32. Not right. One way. $32 one way to go all the way down to Burbank from Fresno. Yeah. So, you know, with the gas prices the way they are right now, you can't beat that.
You can't beat that at all. And the wait at the train station wasn't bad. The weather was nice, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And then obviously Amtrak, if you haven't ridden Amtrak, it's really laid back. Kenny and I scored a table seat, which was cool because, you know, and we only get it for 2 hours. I guess, you know, you can consider that a plus or a minus. We go 2 hours to Bakersfield, California, and then we have to transfer to a bus to go the next 2 hours
to Burbank. Yeah, about a little over an hour to get to Burbank. Not quite all the way to L.A., so yeah.
But it was really cool, though, because it stopped in a town called Valencia, which we didn't know it was going to do that.
Right.
And why is that so significant?
Because we want to go to Magic Mountain one day, too. That makes it even easier to get to Magic Mountain. Yes.
And we did not know it stopped in Valencia. Yeah. So now we know that we can book a trip to check out Magic Mountain. What is Magic Mountain, you might ask? Look it up online, but is one of the most insane roller coaster parks, in my opinion, that I know of anyway, in the States. But definitely in California, where we're at.
Definitely California.
Hands down. It's a roller coaster park.
Magic Mountain.
It's a thrill park. Now, you can't record on the rides, but we can still bring some of the experience and give you some B-roll shots of what those coasters are at. So look forward to that, because that one's going to be coming up soon.
Yes.
But it got really tricky once we got to Burbank. A little bit.
As in how?
We got dropped off, and there was like no significant. It was supposed to be the Burbank airport, but they dropped us outside of the airport area, and it was really confusing to orient ourselves. There's no gas stations. There's no up the road. There is, but it's quite the walk and journey to get to the city part. Like, so, as far as refreshments or any type of needs you would need. There is a Metrolink across the street.
There's a Metrolink across the street, but you'll have to, if you want something when you get off the bus, you have to go to the airport to get something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you got to get either the Metrolink or Lyft or Uber to get to where your next destination is going to be. Because it drops you off on the main street, you know, right outside the airport.
And we Ubered or Lyft, whatever. We call it Uber, but we Lyft, whatever. It doesn't matter which one you use. It wasn't bad.
No.
I think I got it for $17 that one or $19?
$17 or $19 to the R Hotel.
Yeah.
Which was in Burbank.
Yeah.
No, Universal City. I'm sorry, Universal City.
Yeah.
So it's not too far from where we were.
No.
13-minute drive. So yeah.
It wasn't bad. And that was pretty much our travel experience. You know, ranking it out of 5 mobility canes, what would you give the travel up experience?
Travel up? Not the travel back. You'll hear about that in a minute.
We'll get to that soon.
We'll get to that in a minute. Travel up, easy 4, you know. Yeah. You can't, I mean, it's so easy. You know, you just ride. You're not doing too much. Yeah. So you just get on the train, ride, get on the bus and ride, get off and get to where you got to go. So, yeah. No delays, no issues with the Amtrak or the bus. So, yeah, we're good.
I'm tempted to get 4.5 mobility canes, but the reason I won't is because I think it's too high. I was just really excited about Valencia. I think that because it really makes it accessible for us to get to Magic Mountain. So I'll definitely give it a 4 for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, tempted to give it a 4.5.
It would have got a 5 for me if it was an actual drop-off location for Amtrak there.
Yeah.
There's no signage, there's no anything that says Amtrak stops here or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I only give it a 4.
And we'll get into that too. That's a whole nother experience for the end of this podcast.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it was fun. Now that night, you guys saw the video. We talked a lot about our first night there. You guys seen the video of us going to City Walk, our dinner. We talked about it extensively.
Yeah.
In that video. So we're
Check
going to
that
go
vlog
ahead and
out for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And by the way, if you like what you're seeing here or not seeing in,
What they gotta
in
do?
some terms,
What they gotta do?
They got to like, and they got to comment, and they got to subscribe and share this video. Get it out there that there's some low vision, adventurous individuals that are going to be touring around and finding some mischief to get into. And not only are we going to get some mischief, but we're going to figure out how to make that mischief accessible. That's the whole point.
Yes.
Right? And show you how to live your best independent
and educate
life.
you guys, but also not only educate the community, but also educate the parks on how to make things even more accessible for folks, you know?
Yeah.
Or wherever we're going to go. Not just parks, but yeah.
You know, the thing is I know we get looks. I know we get looks because we're carrying around cameras and our mobility canes, and I'm sure they have questions. No one came up to us on this trip and said anything, though. But sometimes you just feel the eyes on you. No pun intended. You just feel the eyes on you, and it is what it is. But the hope is that they will come and ask the questions for us to give the answers.
They're probably thinking, like, what? Are these two serious? Going to go to haunted houses like blind? Like, what? And record?
Yeah, and
goodness.
record. Right? And record. So let's go ahead and jump right into the next phase, man, which was our first day at Universal Studios.
Well, we're only there one day, but yeah, we'll get into
Well, I mean, when I say first day, is my first
part one of day
trip.
one on Universal Studios.
It was my first time ever.
Yeah.
Watch a ton of videos. I follow a lot of YouTubers that cover theme parks in Southern California, and so I see a lot. But you know, it's different when you experience it in person. And the first thing that scared me the most, and I touched base on it at the City Walk video about how we were treated. But Kenny, I'm gonna have you go ahead and explain to them in depth. I mean, we talk about it in the video that'll be out before this one. Our part one. To the Universal Park, we talk a bit about it, but let's go ahead and get in detail about the accessibility, the way we were treated from the get.
Oh, we were, 5-star treatment. That's the way I classify it. Of course, we related to the park we can't get into right now, which would be Disney.
Yeah.
But and equivalent to how they're treated, customer service over there versus customer service at Universal, and to me, there's no difference. Both places. We walked into the guest relations, and the guy right away just came up to us and was like, "Oh, let me get you guys your visually impaired pass, and this is how it works, and here it is," and explain everything to us right away and in depth. Like give us examples and what we can do, what we can't do, and how the pass works, and you just take it up to the rides and you scan it in. And one thing I like about this pass here, it's right here, this pass, it's called the Attraction Assistant Pass. It has a barcode up here. They just scan it at the rides. If it's less than a half hour, you go right on. If not, they flip it over and give you a turn time on the back. And the way I like it is it's a little old school, right? You don't have to have your phone out all the time, logging into something and check in. You get a look and see, put in whatever it is, It's just right away. It's on paper. They just scan it and you go, So it's a little old school, but it makes it a lot easier. We have to be on your phone the whole time, so you can have better access and better enjoy the park as well.
The difference for me, the thing there's a few different things. I mean, he covered it to the T. I don't really need to elaborate on what he just said. He did a real good job explaining that. By the way, good job.
Thank you, sir.
Kudos. But when we walked in, it was like, you ever get those moments when you come up to somebody and they go, "Oh, the guys with the stick," or the guys with the, the white sticks, or, he didn't say anything like that, but he automatically identified us as visually impaired instantly. Like, we didn't have to answer any questions.
No questions.
He just recognized what our need was, and he called us over and just was like, bam, bam, bam. We were in and out of there like less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes. We were in a little bit longer because we asked some more questions, but other than that, we were just in and out, like no problems.
If we were going just for attractions, just for the 10 to 6 time they were open that day for the park, we would have been out of there less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
He made it that simple.
Made it that simple.
That simple.
Yeah.
The other thing that stood out to me, and that actually, I'm going to say it, that was better than Disney's DAS pass was Universal has this thing where if it's less, or if it's 30 minutes or less, give or take, they let you ride in. They just let you ride in. There's no questions asked. And you know, sometimes that could be 30 minutes, that could be maybe even 40 minutes, and if depending on the cast member, they just let you ride in. And on top of that, that's also different from Disney. Sorry, we're recording this outside. You might hear some background noise from cars. But the other difference that I found amazing was you're not competing with the whole park, especially during the day when you're accessing this. So the idea is to lower the anxiety of being around crowds, and their express lanes are not crowded at all. The only people that are going to be there is the people that forked out the extra money, which is a significant amount, by the way. I think it's like $84 or...
for the express pass in general?
Yeah.
It depends on the day, but it has a range, you know. It goes from, I think it's 84 up to 139, depending on the day you go to get the express pass.
So from that point till 3 o'clock, only the people that have this pass and the people that paid extra for the express all day, or VIPs, are using this pass. So Kenny and I really didn't even have to wait. We didn't get a return time till maybe midday.
Yeah, the first return time we got was the Simpsons ride. But even on a return time, or even going through the express line, I don't think we waited anything less than... Most of them were all walk-ons.
Yeah.
But maybe 5 minutes, I think we waited one time for... because of the kids ride. It was like Despicable Me or something like that. But
I think it was a breakdown or something.
There's more in there than people, kids in there. So
it
took a little bit longer. But anything else was pretty much just you going through the express lane, you just walk right on, you know. So that was great.
Yeah, so from the past perspective, to put that behind us a little bit, I mean, hands down, again.
Oh, I'll bring up this one too. Also for the shows.
Oh, yeah. Right away.
It's called a front access card. So any shows you go to on Universal, you can go ahead and they'll sit you in the front row, you know, which is also awesome. Especially for low vision like we are. So, and the closer we get, the better we can see.
Yeah, the better. I mean, you know, obviously for guys like us, we're not going to see perfectly. It's not going to be like perfect, but it really, really helps the experience out for us. And on this note, if you suffer from a disability and you're wondering what it's like to live an accessible life, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, that notification bell, and stay tuned for every time we drop another adventure video or even a podcast talking about such things.
For sure.
Yep. All right. So the accessibility part of it, we'll go ahead and put to bed. You know, for those of you who need that pass, I hope this helps you. I hope this is encouraging you to go out and start doing things that you normally think you couldn't do. It is possible, first and foremost. What about the park experience, though? What about like just the vibe, the fun? What was? Let's go ahead and rank your top three. Your top three rides. Your top three attractions.
Rides. Top three attractions. Oh man, I'm going in no order, but I'll go Jurassic World. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go The Mummy, and I'm gonna go Transformers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, mine's a little different. But pretty close. Jurassic World, definitely. And then I'm definitely going to throw Transformers in there. Watch the video. We explain it all. And Harry Potter. I always forget the Forbidden Journey.
Oh, I forgot about the Forbidden Journey.
You could sub it out too. I think originally when we talked, you had subbed out Transformers for that.
I'm putting Forbidden Journey in for Transformers.
Okay, yeah. That's where the difference was between you and I, was the Transformer ride, I think it was, when we originally...
Yeah.
But remember, this is not a roller coaster park, right? This is more of a motion
simulator park.
Motion simulator.
Yes.
But they do a good job. Now, on a real funny note, there's a theme. There's this weird, funny theme. I don't know if you're a Universal fan and you're watching this video. Leave a comment in the section down below and tell me what you think about what is with Universal in like spit or
water.
And I'm not talking like drenching water.
No. Almost every ride has some water feature in there. If you know, you know.
Caught me off guard. Caught me off guard every time.
Only a couple will caught me off guard because I know about Jurassic World. I know about
that one's obvious.
Other ones,
yeah.
When you go on the ride, you'll know. Leave a comment what ride you think we're talking about. But yes,
I mean, no spoilers here. I'm not going to, but just think of just some of the things that are attached to these water experiences.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're not getting drenched. It's not something that's going to make you uncomfortable. It just happened everywhere we went, and it had me. it had me laughing.
Yeah.
It made it really, really fun. So it's not even a knock. It was just really, really fun.
Yeah. Even at Halloween Horror Nights, you still get a little splash, okay?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the tram tour.
That's a whole ride in itself.
That's a different attraction. I
We
think
didn't.
it's almost like a different
I don't
park.
include that in my list. It's
No.
because it's like a whole different experience. you
Well,
know?
again,
So yeah.
in technically that we were educated on this, and I don't know your name, and I don't think you'll ever watch this video anyway, but shout out to the driver, not only of the tram that takes you to Hollywood Studios, but the tram ride. This person made us feel like we were a part of the family. So
Right.
kudos to you. It goes a long ways. But she gave us a hint on how they control capacity in that park. Once you go on the tram ride, Kenny,
You're not on Universal property anymore. You're on private property.
Yeah.
Off Universal Studios Hollywood property. So yeah.
so technically it's an attraction all of its own.
Yeah.
You've done it before.
I've done it before. It's
Yeah.
a great behind the
Cited,
scene
more
looks.
cited anyway.
More cited. But it's a great behind the scene looks on Hollywood sets and how movies are made, you know? The stuff you see on camera, you'll think you're in one place, but you're actually right there on a Hollywood studio lot.
Yeah.
You know? And it's great to see the props and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If you watch the video that coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
You'll
as
see
of
that.
recording this
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah.
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 It'll be out by Sunday the 23rd.
Yes.
By Sunday the 23rd, I'll have it released Sunday the 23rd in the morning.
You guys have already seen this, but yeah. Check it out.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of behind the scene props, and if you guys been on that tour before, leave a comment. What was your favorite part of that tour?
Yeah.
You know?
My favorite part, I thought was going to be my favorite part. We didn't get to see the Jaws stuff, but
Jaws is being remodeled.
yeah,
you
Jaws
guys,
was
so it's
getting
closed right now.
remodeled.
Yeah.
But I personally really enjoyed just seeing the simple stuff. The way that they do, like, what is it, Old London?
Yes.
Or New York, or Spider-Man, where they filmed Spider-Man coming. Like, there was just certain things like that. The real simple stuff, I really thought it made you feel connected. Like, you remember those movies, and you're like, oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
There's the effects parts that were really cool too. Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. The rain one.
The rain.
You know, you see.
Old Mexico.
Oh, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really interesting how fast. Well, we didn't see how fast they could change sets out, but they can change sceneries and sets really easy.
quick.
You know. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason Universal Studios exists, and that's what you kind of get out of that whole experience.
Right.
Is behind the scenes information and a different
Seeing
perspective.
all the sound stages they have there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of sound stages. You know.
So
yeah.
I think that leads us into the first show that we watched. I think that would be something good that we should touch upon because of that same thing.
Okay.
We went to that stunt show.
Yes.
And what'd you think about that?
The special effects show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, special effects. Yeah. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good actors. I won't call them actors, but really good
Stunt guys. Yeah.
for sure. They showed a fight scene. They showed someone getting set on fire.
Yeah, dude got set on fire.
And it's real fire too. It's not fake.
Real fire.
Real fire.
Yeah.
But it showed a lot of behind the scenes stuff and how they actually portray stuff in the movies. Sound
Educated
effects. Educate you. Yes.
Yeah, in a real fast way too.
Yeah.
So you're not spending the whole day there.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get off your feet, get in some AC.
I mean, most of those shows they don't have a ton of shows, so most
Yeah.
of the shows are pretty fast, you know. So don't take too long.
On that note, one downside, again, just like the Jaws thing, we did not get to see Waterworld, which I was really excited
I want him to see Waterworld because I
Yeah.
think it's a really great show.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, go to Universal, check it out. We learned talking to a manager in guest relations that Waterworld closes 2 times a year.
Yeah.
So I think he says in October it closes through November most times, and then again in February or March.
I think it was.
It closes down again. So yeah,
You got to have something to go back to.
yes. We didn't do everything, you know. We did a lot of the rides. We did all the rides except for Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
But
well, Kung Fu Panda anyway was a show.
Yeah,
It
it's a
was
show.
like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did everything except we didn't go to all the stores and all the stores in
No.
Harry Potter. But you got to have stuff to go back to.
We were gearing up, and we're almost to that part too. Don't want to make this podcast too long, but we're almost to a different part I definitely want to get into. But before we do, like just to kind of throw it out, like Harry Potter land, that Hogwarts, hands down is what Universal is based off right now.
Right. The area is called Hogsmeade, Jason. So he must know about Harry
He's
Potter.
funny. He's funny. I'm a Star Wars guy.
But
Everybody
theme
knows out here. I'm a Star Wars guy, dude. Okay. I don't hate Harry Potter. My kids though, they'll educate me.
Yeah,
it's all good.
The theming is next level.
Yeah.
In Hogsmeade, I think people know that.
Didn't spend a lot of time there though.
They have, of course, all the shops, all the interactive stuff you can do there. The castle is amazing, both in the daytime and at night when it's all lit up.
I'm super excited to take the kids there.
There's 2 rides there.
My kids will freak out.
One is great, forbidden. The other one is for kids.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't got. It's a little.
Well, let's share that real quick, because he was trying to tell me it was a kid ride, but I'm not hearing this. I'm hearing the roller coaster.
It's a kid's ride,
and I'm like, it don't sound like a kid ride, dude.
But it's the only ride. It's the only ride where you can see the hippogriff. Okay, if you're a fan of the hippogriff, go ride the ride so you can see the hippogriff.
The funny part was, is like, he was telling me, we're walking up, and I'm like, you hear people screaming and stuff. And then we walk in, we sit in the seats, and we get in, and I'm like, I look at him, I go, it is a kid's ride. Because, like, literally, I could barely fit in this seat, right?
Yes.
And then it takes off, and it feels like you're going fast. There's some cool dips and, turns, and then it's over. And then that's when I was like, okay, it is a kid's ride. But I'm not knocking it by any chance.
No, it's a great introductory level for it.
It's
a great introductory ride for a kid,
For sure.
For the first roller coasters. And also, here in Hollywood, adults can get on it, but in Orlando, you can't get on it unless you have a child with you. So,
fun fact. Very fun fact.
All right.
Just to wrap up, we encourage you to go watch our video. We definitely like to do these wrap-up videos because Kenny and I are new at this, and as we learn and grow, we'll get better at being more informative during the day. Yes. But we just really want to we just kind of like to connect and really get in depth.
We ain't done yet.
Oh, we're far from done.
We have
that's just part one.
We have to talk about Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay, for right out the cut. So we will be coming out with an HHN video. Don't know what exactly it's going to look like, because you're talking about 2 very low vision individuals that had to go through this experience. So some of our explanations of the moments as we went are hit and miss. We'll probably schedule another podcast. We're going to talk about it right now, but I'd like to maybe even we'll see if we do have to do another one. But the initial video, I haven't edited it yet as of recording of this, so we'll see how that comes out. But Kenny and I were talking before recording this one, and we are going to release, I don't know how long each one's going to be, but each house that we did, we'll put out a separate video just for those, so you can see our reaction experience in the moment.
Yes, for sure.
So with that said, I'm sorry I took the whole front part of that, but
no, you're good.
go ahead and start it, man.
I'll throw it back on you. We'll start with, give me your top 3 houses.
Man, top 3 houses, man. I'm gonna be honest first before we even get into that. I'm not a horror guy. Like, I know Chucky, I know Freddy, I know Jason, I know Mike Myers. I know these characters, but I've never been a horror movie fan. But I had a blast. It had nothing to do with about the horror part of it. Just, it was fun and funny.
Yes.
And my top 3 houses would be Killer Clowns. I would have to say Halloween. And this is where it gets tricky. From a fear perspective, like literally fear, I'll have to go Scarecrow. Those would have to be my 3.
Your 3, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a reason behind it, but I'll let you go. What's your 3?
My top 3, I'm a little bit different than yours.
Yeah.
Scarecrow's in there. Yes. I'm going to throw The Weeknd in there.
Yeah, you like The Weeknd. I liked it too, but yeah.
And I'm going to throw La Llorona.
That was
La
freaky.
Llorona.
Well, that was gory.
Why I put it in there is for the set values. The set in those houses, in that house for sure, was absolutely unreal.
Gore galore.
And I encourage you, if you haven't gone yet, go before Halloween 4 ends. But if you have, let us know down below what your houses you enjoyed most.
Yeah. Fun fact, that was the last one that we did, and we actually waited almost an hour just to get on that thing with our pass.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, let them know that our pass carried over so our attraction assistant pass carried over into HHN, which is a major fact for those of you who say, well, it's dark, it's how are we going to navigate, how are we going to do this?
Right.
Your attraction assistant pass works at HHN, so you get the return time. You don't have to stand in these extremely long lines in the dark, bumping into people.
Same principle. If it's under a half hour, you go right through the express line. You know, and also, even though we didn't take advantage of it, almost every house we went to, the cast member there offered, "Do you guys need any help?"
We don't know what they would have offered. We don't know exactly how that would work. But
what you mean? You're gonna guide us through? But all of them offered, even without us asking, which is absolutely amazing to me.
Now, before we get too sidetracked, you said La Llorona, but what was the other two?
I told you. You weren't listening.
I wasn't listening.
Scarecrow and The Weeknd.
It happens sometimes. I'm ADD. I can't help it. But anyway, moving on from. Shut up. No, but seriously, man, it is fun. It is fun.
Whole separate attraction is a terror tram. That's a whole different attraction.
Yeah, again, just like the tour, just like the studio tour. Yeah. I think it's a whole different attraction, but there's a reason why, and I'll double back now that we talked that you could use the attraction pass and all that good jazz. It's worth it.
And for the shows too. The only show there is Jabberwockies, but the pass works there too.
The pass works there too. Yeah. The funny part is that, you know, this was our first experience HHN together, and combined, I mean, if you're visually impaired, you know, okay, you just know. If you're not visually impaired, except for any type of sight loss, then you don't. But Kenny and I combined, it's a work in progress, but it takes both of us. Our differences in vision allowed us to pull this off, which we didn't know that we were going to be able to do, by the way. But it made it fun. I think it was part of.
It works out.
There was parts. So let me just clarify this. So I was giving Kenny a bad time calling him 2020 the whole trip, because Kenny can see more detail. I'll let you explain. Like, when we say more detail, we're not talking like 2020 is a complete joke, by the way.
I think I have more central vision. I can see stuff written down, whereas Jason can't. Right?
I can't see no details.
Right. And then at nighttime, his vision is way better than mine at nighttime. So through the houses, he was the lead, and I was following. It takes a long time for my eyes to adjust to nighttime. So, you know, once my eye adjusts, then I can kind of see better. But I still follow him through the houses.
But take that with a grain of salt, because just because I could see better at night is not like.
He sees great. No, not by any means. No.
In fact, we were in a couple of houses. So how we did this, right? We tried to make sure that we had people in front of. There was a couple of times they stopped the express line, and we were first in line. They're like, "You guys want to go?" And we were like, "Actually, we want to be behind somebody," you know, because that's how we navigate through. As I tried my best to keep my eye on the people in front of me to navigate through these houses, but there was a couple of times they got away from me.
Right. He's trying to be funny and delay, and he gets lost too. Trying to get me in scare tactics, you know.
There is a part of the video. If it fits inside, I'll show you guys where I keep running into this black wall. I couldn't find my way out, and it was hilarious. But we wanted to throw that out there because it was fun.
Yes.
And the Killer Clowns one was probably the funniest one.
That was the funniest one.
This guy about busted a gut.
I haven't laughed that hard in the house. Ever, I mean, and I don't say ever, but in a long time. You know, it was so funny watching his reactions to getting jump scares. And I think he caught almost every jump scare in that house. You know, they got him good.
I didn't know what to expect. The rest of the houses were different.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom, who actually loves. What's one of her favorite movies is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes.
So the fact that one was so fun was pretty fitting.
Yeah. The only two houses we didn't get into were the Bloom House and Hotel Horror.
Hotel Horror.
Yeah. Because by that time it was already midnight when we left after La Llorona, and their houses still had over an hour wait. Yeah. I can tell you when it was crowded that night. I don't know if it sold out, but it was crowded. And if you're gonna do Halloween Horror Nights, my tip advice is head down to the lower lot first, because those houses
especially if you're in the park early.
Yeah, those houses open up first. They open at 6
because
Halloween and Scarecrow I don't think open up till 7 o'clock. So, and they're go all the way through Hogwarts.
I think it's because how they push the people out of the park.
Yeah.
Now that's a great tip if you're already in the park like we were. We spent the whole day there. Our original thought was to leave for a little bit, get some rest. But once we got a band inside at 3:30, we were like, it makes no sense to leave.
Right.
And it was a good call.
Yes, very good call.
I suggest that. That means you can be at lower lot, because we got on Killer Clowns, Universal Monsters, and we only had to wait a small bit because of that.
For the weekend.
For the weekend.
Yeah. And still rode Jurassic World again.
And Transformers.
And Transformer again.
All within like an hour and a half time.
Yeah.
We went to
we
all
were
the
done
houses.
with the lower lot.
Whole lower lot.
Quick.
It slowed down once we got to the top.
Upper lot was a different story.
Yeah.
But
and the tram was a little long.
Yeah.
And other things. But.
Yeah. The line waste time just increased the later it got. I never seen anything like that in my life. But I mean, if you're gonna wait in a line 120 minutes, there's no better line to wait in than the weekend, because it's like a small mini concert. It's fun. Okay.
Just in case we revisit this story again, just to put a nice bow on it, if you're someone who suffers from low vision, all you have to do, honestly, is make sure that you have somebody that can help you navigate the house. It worked out for Kenny and I by the grace of God, because honestly, my vision, we played off each other all week long. Him and I together, I wouldn't have said that or knowingly known that until this trip. This trip really exposed that to me, that you're the central vision guy that helps. And it's not perfect. Some signs you couldn't read, some things you couldn't read, but for the most part, we played off each other when it came to our vision. So this works for us. So you can experience it with someone else that suffers from low vision, but if you could have a sighted supporter, it would ensure that you navigate this seamlessly, and it's worth it. It's not a waste of money. It's fun, especially if you're a horror fan. But even if you're not, I'm still chuckling. I'm still giddy laughing. It was fun, dude. It was fun.
Even if you don't want to go to the houses, I still encourage you to just go out there and experience it just for yourself.
It's fun.
'Cause you can watch all the videos. I watched a ton of videos on horror nights, but being there and seeing it and hearing it, and the houses all have different types of smells to it. Yeah, it's an experience in itself.
Stunk at first, dude.
Yes,
that place, it was gross.
It smells like a hay barn.
Yeah,
but
worse than a hay barn.
But yeah,
dead hay barn.
Go out there and experience it. There's great food there. There's people you can watch all night long there, especially through the scare zones, because
dude,
they chase people in Hollywood, okay? But
I don't know if we got some of it on video, though. That guy that creeped up on us in Jupiter's Claim, the Nope. He's all, I don't even want to do it. It was bad. It was bad. But he stuck up. It's like, they don't realize that you have this mobility cane, so they don't know, right? They come up to you, and then some of them that you could tell that noticed, they were like, oh.
They back away.
They're kind of like,
you gotta back away. We're still good. But some will actually play with you. Some were having sword fights.
He's trying to sword fight Kenny. That was funny. That was funny. Again, I can't say enough about the cast members, man. They were on point.
They make
the whole time we were there, they were on point, dude.
They make the experience so much better.
On point. Yeah, hands down.
By far, this whole trip overall. I don't know if we get a ratings yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and give mine right.
Oh yeah, yeah. No. Absolutely, go ahead. Perfect time. Perfect time.
I'm giving my rating a 5.
Hands down.
It's
5 mobility canes out of 5 mobility canes.
I had so much fun. Shout out to all the cast members, even the tram lady that Jason was talking about earlier. We actually ended up on her terror tram, and she got out of her driver's seat before she started driving, of course. Yeah. But out of her driver's seat and was like, "Oh, look, you guys made it onto my tram. Nice seeing you guys again."
Give us a fist bump and then drove.
That's awesome. That makes the whole experience a whhole lot better. Like Jason was saying, I just encourage you guys to, any type of disability, because there are people out there in the motor school EVCs going through the houses. So it's possible. Anything's possible. I believe in no limits. So you guys can go out there and enjoy it.
They make it happen. And again, I can't say it enough. Like, we talk about the saying is Disney magic, right? Oh, the magic. And I'm not a knock on Disney whatsoever, because they do. It's very magical. And I don't have a term or phrase, and it's not fair to use the word magic there, but they're not on point, if not better.
Right.
At least my personal experience as someone who suffers with a disability. It was awesome.
It was top level.
Awesome. Yeah.
No
That's
doubt.
why we had to give the 5 mobility canes.
Yes.
Both of us agree to that.
Yeah.
Now remember, we're at the point again. We're getting ready to finish this up. All the fun and laughter is going to be over right now. We're going to get into some. We can laugh about it now, but we're going to get into some serious stuff.
Hold on. Before you get serious, let me give you. We went back to the park on.
Oh yes, go ahead and
Friday before we left.
Yep.
And we went to the shops and stuff like that. We did but we went back to guest relations and actually spoke to a customer service manager there, our guest relation manager, and we actually gave shout outs and let them know how well they're doing there with their accessibility program and also with their cast members, because we can't always go places and give complaints. We have to give shout outs when shout outs are due.
100%.
And they were due that day. So we let the customer service manager know that these cast members and what you guys are doing here is amazing. And he accepted that with open, I won't say arms,
smiling. He wanted to keep talking to us.
He was like, look, this is great to hear, and we're glad we know we're making a difference for you guys, and let us know what we can do to make it better, you know? So, yeah.
Which is what we do, which is what we set out to do, guys. I know it seems like, oh, you're just going out and doing this, and no. I mean, literally, we're trying to make these experiences happen, and trust me, if it was a bad experience, we still would have went back to customer service and said, hey, we need to talk.
Yeah.
We just need to, can we have a conversation? Because it is our right to be able to enjoy things like this, but it was really relaxing and fun and exciting and all that stuff, not having to deal with any drama. We were drama free almost.
Now let's get to the complaint department here.
Before you listen to this last segment, hit the like button, subscribe button, the notification bell. Stay up to date every time we drop another adventure.
Let's talk about Amtrak. Okay.
Oh, dude.
Where do we start on this adventure coming back home?
I know where we start. I had, and you could contest to this, right? I'm not going to say I knew for a fact, but sometimes when people say listen to your gut, listen to your gut. Okay, because I had this weird feeling. I told you I had this weird feeling.
You did.
I did. Yes. I was really, really worried about going back to where we got dropped off to catch this bus.
I wasn't worried about going back to where we got dropped off at because
the bus
we
dropped
knew
us
where it
off
was.
there. Well, okay.
We knew where that drop-off point was, right?
But my funny feeling came to be a reality.
In my perfect sense, in my reality, you get picked up the same place you got dropped off, right? I haven't seen any buses pick up. I've been on a lot of buses going up and down California, back and forth to LA, and Amtrak and Greyhound both. They pick up where they drop off. Now,
my bad feeling rubbed off on you, though.
Let's say this, okay?
Because you started making phone calls.
First of all, there's no identification, no signage out there that says Amtrak stop, Amtrak pick up, anything like that. I don't know if the sign was gone, broken, or whatever happened, but it's not there. Regardless, right?
And we showed up early to try to make sure that we could figure this out. We were smart about that.
Right. So when pickup time got closer, I called Amtrak just to make sure where the pickup spot was, right?
Yeah.
So they said, oh, here's the address. I won't give the address, but here's the address. So I punched it into my maps, and we walked down to where the address was.
Right on the dot.
Right on the dot, right?
And it's right where we picked up the Lyft and Uber that we got to, so we knew where we were.
It's a bus stop. It's a regular. It's a city bus stop. City bus stop.
Yeah.
So, as time 3:00 came, 3:04 came, I called Amtrak again, letting them know
twice
to see where the bus was at. See if it was late. They said, "Oh, the bus is running 15 or so minutes late. No problem."
While he's on the phone finding a quiet spot, I'm standing at the spot.
Yes.
I didn't follow him to go, to get all nosy. I let him handle it. I was sitting with the bags right where the dot took us to.
No problem. Okay, buses run late all the time. Not a big deal. Whatever. It's going to get here when it gets here. I'll let Jason finish the story from here.
So I'm standing there. He's coming back towards me, right? And I look over. Now, again, he's got the central vision, which is more definition. I have no definition, guys. I mean, I can see a little bit in front of me, but it's everything is really blurry. Let's just put it that way. And I see this bus go by. Vroom, right? It just goes zooming by. And I can tell it was a tour bus. I know the difference between a city bus and those, what do they call those? The tour buses or
Charter
the
buses.
charter buses, right?
Yeah.
I knew it was a charter bus. It said zoom, and I said, Kenny, he comes running. That said Amtrak. We take off running, man. Two blind guys with canes, right? Trying to run up the street thinking that it's going to stop somewhere where we were at.
In a street with no sidewalks.
No sidewalks.
Live traffic. LA traffic at that.
Oh, my goodness, man. The bus never stopped.
Never stopped.
So we're standing
They
there.
didn't even slow down. They didn't hit no brakes.
Blind guys can't tell you how many feet we ran. It was a good ways, though. And then we're kind of looking over, and again, none of us can see that well, but it looked like to us, because there's to the right of us where we were standing is the actual Metrolink tracks. Then obviously there's a street way on the other side, and it almost looked like a bus going down that street. So honestly, I felt like, is that the bus over there?
Right. Jason said, I think I saw the bus on the other side. So I took off running back the other direction, down the reverse direction where we came from.
I had a delay reaction.
Ran up got to where you can go up the ramp to go to the Metrolink station, and then crossed over the tracks, went down to the other side. Needless to say, there's no bus stop. There's no buses there. There's nothing there. Yeah.
And we should have known,
because it's the wrong street anyway. It's not
we used the GPS. We should have known.
Not even the same street that's on.
We were desperate at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So needless to say, after probably 30 minutes of it's like 3:30 by now, and we're just like,
yeah,
we're upset. Like we're two blind travelers.
I was
essentially in the middle of.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say in the middle. No, we had the Metrolink, so I don't want to overplay.
Yeah, we're by the
this.
airport. We're not in the middle.
I don't want to overplay it.
We're by Burbank Airport.
But when you're blind, though,
yeah,
stress level goes through the roof.
Right.
Right. I immediately call the wife. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm coming home tonight. I might have to go get another hotel. I have no idea. I'm like, Kenny's on the phone again for the third time to Amtrak. I'm waiting for him to figure things out, and I will keep you posted. Meanwhile,
we'll end the story pretty short here. Yeah. But
this could go for hours.
We can keep going on this one, but I was on hold with customer relations, and it never picked up. But the guy I talked to beforehand said, "Oh, there's a bus leaving at a Union Station at 7:15." So,
which is when we were supposed to be back to Fresno.
Let's say we got
essentially
another Uber to Union Station. They were, I ain't gonna lie, they were fine over there. They handled the situation fine. We ended up on the bus. We had to wait in Union Station for 2.5 hours. But we made it back home safely.
We're here.
We're here.
All good.
All ends well. We ain't done. I'm not done with Amtrak yet.
No. We were supposed to be home around 7:30 or 8. We got home off the bus and picked up on my wife at 12:30.
12:30, yeah.
12:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, but it didn't ruin the trip. In fact, it's a good, fun story to share with you all. And really to put a bow on this, what would be your recommendation? Because we have a recommendation. We'll talk about our experience, and you guys could pick off our recommendation off this. So what kind of conclusion do we come to when we go back to Universal? How do we do it? And for anybody in the California area, listen to this closely.
Going back to Universal, no problem getting dropped off at the Burbank location by the airport.
No.
Safe. You get dropped off right there on the sidewalk. Catch an Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, you can probably catch it from that spot. I suggest going to where we did. You cross the street. It's safe to cross the street at the light. Go to the Metrolink side. Get picked up by Uber there. But getting there is not an issue.
Back to wherever your location is going to be. Our recommendation
spend the extra money.
Take the longer Lyft ride. Go to Union Station.
Yeah.
Where they'll have guest assistants available to help you out.
Escort you.
Get to your train or get to your bus, wherever you got to go. You ain't got to worry about anything at that location there.
And I want to say that about Amtrak too, especially Union Station. Again, I'll give them 5 mobility canes for their attention to detail when it came to our needs as disabled individuals. They made sure that we got a comfortable spot. They made sure that we were relaxed, asked if we needed anything. They were on time to come get us and escort us right to the bus, get us on what we needed. Those are the things that help us. I don't want to use the word expected. I never expect anything, right? Because a lot of this we got at some point, we got to be able to troubleshoot.
Right.
And that's what this experience was. We were
Yeah, you
a
got to be
stressful
able to,
way to
you got to be able to
troubleshoot.
use the tools that you have available
Yes.
for yourself to go ahead and try to resolve the situation if you
Yes.
can. I even looked at getting an Uber to Bakersfield so we can get on the train on time, but that Uber is going to cost a whole bunch of money, so
Yeah.
we didn't go that route.
Yeah.
And it had another available option that's much later than we expected, but that option was there available for us, so we took that option instead. But you got to use the tools that are available to you to help resolve your own situation.
And as long as that day it had no bad effect on the overall experience of the trip.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
It was actually, it's more funny to me
now.
Well, I was a little upset.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
play it off like it was all a joke. But
Yeah.
I laugh about it now. But honestly, if you do what Kenny and I did, and we took this opportunity, we went there, we got off. I wasn't the biggest fan of where we were dropped off as people who have disabilities, but that's not their fault, right?
Right.
And that bad inkling that I had of going back there, maybe we should have listened to it. But the fact that we didn't just no pun intended, open our eyes to the big picture and how we think as people with blind disabilities, to say, trust your instincts, make sure that you put yourselves in situations that are going to make you comfortable and safe.
Yes, most definitely.
Do your research the best
Yes.
you can. After that, trust in your skills. But we did it.
We
did
sure
it.
did.
Hand knuckles out there. We did
Another
it.
trip
It was-
successfully down.
We nailed it.
Off to the next one.
Yeah, we made contacts.
Keep watching these videos, you guys. We appreciate your support.
Yep.
And keep liking, keep sharing. Leave comments, you guys, please. We'll respond to all your comments.
Stay tuned for our H&N stuff. It's
Yes.
pretty funny. I mean, for what we could see. I haven't gone through all the footage yet. You kind of went through
I
more of it
watched
than
the
I
footage.
did. Yeah.
There's good footage in there. It's going to
Yeah.
be a great content video when it comes out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any videos from other blind and visually impaired people going through
these
the haunted
houses.
houses, And I don't think the cast members or the scary actors seeing
We're ready
blind
for
people
it. They weren't ready
coming
for
through
it.
the houses
They weren't ready
either,
for us.
okay?
I don't think so, man.
Because I can't see their reactions, but the way they were coming to scare and they kind of leaned away like, oh,
Yeah, they're
wait
like,
a minute.
whoa.
Maybe I shouldn't do that. But no.
was awesome.
To those scare actors, you guys are doing a great job. Keep
Did a
it
good
up.
job,
To the people working in the haunted houses, you guys are doing amazing. We'll definitely go back again next year and check it out. Hopefully we'll get some more other theme parks as well next year for my Halloween time. I mean, to compare stuff, what's going on.
Yep.
I have some things coming up. Watch out for that.
Yep.
Jason has some more things coming up. Keep an eye out
I'm
for
going to
his
be
videos.
implementing some of my work stuff that I do because I'm around this every day. I'm around the blind and low vision people every day. Like we're there together every day. There's events I've done. I could pull some stuff from that and show you what I've been up to and the differences that we're making. So a lot of content coming out, a lot of stuff happening. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope this was, no pun intended, eye-opening, encouraging.
Yes.
You can go out and do things. Don't stay at home. We're encouraging you. We're inspiring you to educate, motivate, inspire. Go out there. Live your best independent life.
For sure.
Please.
No doubt.
Please. And until next time, stay
Independently blind.
We out.
Peace.